Hey, how you doing? David Taub here with NextLevelGuitar.com. Hope all is well and hope your guitar journeys are kicking butt. And what I want to show you today is I actually got a lot of emails about a video I did a little bit ago where I was showing some blues licks. And in that video, I played actually over two of the chords I played in arpeggio. And I got some emails asking, well, what was I doing there and why was I doing that? Was I playing something out of key or whatnot? And could you explain it? And I thought I would, explain a little bit of it, and then you could kind of blast this over all your playing. Basically, what I was doing is, now the progression that we were playing in that video, and also there's jam tracks of the exact progression. And if you want to get the jam tracks, click on the links right here. There's 3 jam tracks we'll send you for free. They're great tools to practice your lead playing and our improvisation. So make sure you click on these links here and we'll send you those tracks. Basically, we're in the key of C minor, and the progression is a C minor 7 to an F minor 7 and a G minor 7. Okay? So what I was doing is I was playing over each chord. Remember, when you're soloing, you have 2 options. You could either, 1, play what's called relates to all. What relates to all? The same scale or the same modes over all the chords, no matter what they are. For instance, in this example, we were playing the C minor 7th, F minor 7th, and G minor 7th. So no matter what chord you're on, you're playing the same thing, like C minor pentatonic or C Aeolian mode, C minor scale. They relate to all. You can play that scale, that pentatonic or that C minor pentatonic in blues over all the chords, whether you're on the C, the F minor, the C minor, the F minor, the G minor, and it works. That's called playing what relates to all. The second thing, or 2, what I call treating each chord like a separate event. Meaning, when you change chords, you're going to then examine that chord and those notes that make up that chord and play something that relates to that chord. So, and that's kind of what I did. So when I'm on the C minor chord, I'm playing something that relates to the C minor 7th chord. C minor pentatonic and blues, C Aeolian mode, C Dorian would work, right? Playing something that a C minor arpeggio, C minor 7th arpeggio, something like that. But when I switch, when the rhythm changes to the F minor 7th, then I abandon what I was doing in C and I play something that relates to this F minor 7th chord. I treat that chord like a separate event, and I play, like I did in the example, an F minor 7th arpeggio over that chord. Or I'll switch and play, you could play like F minor pentatonic in blues. Just change the box. If you're just in your boxes, if you're saying, this sounds too advanced for me, it isn't. Just C minor, play over the C chord, play in the C minor box, and then when it changes to that F minor, just go to F and play in that F minor box, because the tonality changes. You're changing the tonality, so it sounds really cool. Over the F minor 7th chord, you can play F minor pentatonic in blues. You can play, F Aeolian, or the F minor scale, F Dorian, right? That will all work. F minor arpeggio, F minor 7 arpeggio, F minor 9 arpeggio. They all work over that chord. But then when it goes to that G minor 7th, and you don't have a lot of time on that chord, but there's enough to sneak like a little G minor pentatonic and blues lick, or G minor arpeggio, or G natural minor scale, G Aeolian scale, G Dorian scale, over just that chord. But then you have to get off of that chord, you have to get off of that G, you have to abandon what you're doing in G by the time you get back to that F. You don't want to be playing a G minor 7th arpeggio over that F chord because it's not going to sound good. So you have to treat each chord totally separately. And this also will help you listen to the rhythm going underneath the chords, right? Because you got to know, well, here's the change. Okay, I'm going to change what I'm doing. I'm going to switch the tonality. And that's the gist of what I was doing. Now, obviously, you can only do this technique is if you have enough time on the chords. If the chords are moving very quickly, you're not going to have enough time to do it. Then you play more what relates to all. So here's basically the lick that I did in that video. Watch this. What I did when it went to that 5 chord, to that to that G minor 7, I played a G minor 7th arpeggio. Then quickly, because then the chord went to that 4 chord, went to the F minor 7. I played the exact same arpeggio a whole step down, which is an F minor 7th arpeggio. ended it with a little lick. And remember, it's going to take some time. This is a more advanced thing, playing over each chord as opposed to playing over what relates to all. But it really, really can help you give a whole new sound to your playing, and you can do it. You can do it. It just takes a little bit of more time because you got to listen for the chords and you got to time it right, but it's really going to take your playing to the next level. And like I said, if you want to start with something easy over each chord, if you're just playing minor, pentatonic, and blues in your box shapes, right? Then over that C minor 7th chord, play that C minor, pentatonic, and blues. But when it changes to the F minor 7th chord, just move everything down to the key of F and play your F right here on the 1st fret. There's your root on the low E string. Play your F minor, pentatonic, and blues scale licks. Just over that chord. And then do the same thing just quickly when it goes to the 5 chord, move to G. So just play that box in the G minor, pentatonic, and blues scale. Obviously, you want to learn your scales and modes over the whole neck and not just these boxes, and you don't want to have a real disjointed sound, but this will just get you kind of like launched off and starting it. And you know, like, and I'll show you the arpeggio up and back, but you know, you want to mix the arpeggios. That's good arpeggio playing is about mixing the arpeggios in with the scales. You don't necessarily want to play it straight down and straight back up. Like I wouldn't play, like, I don't know, like on that F chord, I wouldn't play an F minor scale, F aioli mode, all the way down and all the way up. Will sound a little bit stiff, right? You don't play your scales like that. You kind of break them up and licks and repeat them and vary them, and that's the same thing you want to do with your arpeggios, you know, kind of blast it in there and then mix it up. But it sounds really nice when you're playing arpeggios or full-on 7-note scales, and then go back to the pentatonics because it's kind of like a breath of fresh air, right? So let me take you in on a tight shot and let's look at those arpeggios. Okay, here I am at the 8th fret on the A string, which is our F note, and we're going to play the F minor 7th arpeggio off of here. And then we're going to move it up a whole step to the 10th fret. There's my G note. We're going to play the same arpeggio off of there. We're doing a minor 7th arpeggio, root, flat 3rd, 5th, flat 7th. So in F, we're going to play, here it is slow. So we're playing on the A string, the F note, which is at the 8th fret. Then play the 11th fret, the G sharp. Then you're going to play that C note, which is at the 10th fret on the D string. Then you're going to play the E flat, flat 7, which is on the G string on the 8th fret. Then with your 3rd finger G string, play the 10th fret. That's that F note again. Here it is so far. Then you're going to play that G sharp note with your 2nd finger. Keep 1 finger per fret with this arpeggio. Make it easy. 2nd finger on the B string, 9th fret. Then 8th fret, high E string, that C note. And there's your E flat again on the 11th fret, high E string. So here it is slow. And just practice that up and back just to get the hang of it. And that's the arpeggios. So practice them. And you will get them. And then mix them up. You can do so many different licks and whatnot. There, I did a slide, so I'm just kind of throwing some ideas out. You don't want to always play the arpeggio straight up and back. Kind of mix it up a bit. And remember, try playing over each chord, you know, and lots of guys do that, you know, whether it be blues or rock. And, you know, like some people say, well, you know, throwing those arpeggios over the chords isn't really blues. Well, I don't buy that. It's like, you know, no one ever said, you know, we're playing traditional blues here. I mean, I think as a player, what you want to do is you want to develop your own style and take certain things from different players that you like and make them your own. And yeah, if you're playing over blues progression and you throw that arpeggio in, I think it sounds cool. It's different. It's something maybe that, you know, you can make unique to you. You know, we're all kind of amalgamates of our influences. You know, we take a little bit from this guy, a little bit from this guy, a little bit from this girl, a little bit from him, a little bit from her, and then a heavy dose of you, and make it you as a guitar player and be creative with it, right? So don't let anybody hold you back by boxing you into a certain genre of music. I don't necessarily say, well, I'm just going to play straightforward, you know, blues. I kind of mix different things in there, because to me, you know, in my crazy David Taub world, to me it sounds interesting, you know. And I'm not saying that standard straight ahead blues doesn't sound interesting, because it does. But what I'm saying is, you know, kind of like, don't let anybody hold you back or box you in. You know, you do your thing and have fun with it and make it yours, and become, you know, we're all amalgamates of our influences, and make it your own. Put your own spin on it, and be creative. Hope that helps. You know, we're trying here. And check out our website. Oh, remember, download those free jam tracks, because then you'll have the track to practice that arpeggio and practice your timing and your rhythm skills within your lead playing over it. So that's very important. That will really help you. You need that track. So go right here and download that. That really will make this a quicker, you can assimilate it into your playing.